Most seniors believe fruit is always a healthy choice. But what if some fruits are quietly draining your energy, harming your circulation, and speeding up aging after 60? At Healthy Seniors Daily, we dig deeper into what truly supports long-term wellness. In today's episode, we reveal 4 fruits seniors should avoid. Fruits that might seem innocent, but can sabotage your strength, balance, and blood sugar. From the summer favorite that spikes your insulin to the healthy snacks hiding metabolic danger, your everyday choices matter more than ever. If you've been feeling tired, swollen, or foggy after meals, the culprit might be sitting right in your fruit bowl. Stay with us to uncover the real truth behind these fruits and what you should eat instead to feel stronger, clearer, and more vibrant every day. Watermelon, a sweet trap for aging circulation. Watermelon is often seen as the perfect summer treat. It is refreshing, hydrating, and nostalgic, bringing back memories of picnics, family gatherings, and childhood joy. With its high water content and sweet taste, many believe watermelon is the ideal fruit for seniors looking to stay hydrated and healthy. But here is the hidden truth. After age 60, watermelon may be silently sabotaging your circulation, blood sugar, and leg strength. At first glance, watermelon looks innocent. It is over 90% water, contains vitamin C, and is low in calories. However, what most people overlook is its very high glycemic index, GI, between 72 and 80. This means it raises your blood sugar faster than white bread. For seniors whose bodies are more sensitive to sugar and whose insulin response has naturally weakened with age, this can be a serious issue. When you eat watermelon, especially alone or on an empty stomach, it digests rapidly. The sugar hits your bloodstream all at once, causing a spike in glucose. This spike is followed by a crash, leaving you tired, weak, and mentally foggy. Over time, this cycle contributes to poor microcirculation, especially in areas like your feet, hands, and brain. Seniors may notice cold limbs, tingling sensations, slower healing of wounds, and even balance problems. Not because they are simply aging, but because their blood vessels are inflamed and oxygen is not reaching the tissues efficiently. Another overlooked issue is hydration. While watermelon contains a lot of water, it lacks the electrolytes such as magnesium, potassium, and sodium needed to retain that fluid in your cells. Without these minerals, your body flushes the water quickly. This can actually leave you more dehydrated than before. Seniors may experience increased urination, fatigue, and dizziness, despite thinking they are staying hydrated. Worse, watermelon is often consumed as a mid-afternoon snack or light dessert after lunch, without any protein or fat to slow digestion. This creates a blood sugar roller coaster and can stress your liver and pancreas. If you are pre-diabetic or have metabolic syndrome, watermelon could accelerate your condition without you even realizing it. So, should you avoid watermelon entirely? Not necessarily. But you should be very selective about when and how you eat it. Treat watermelon like a dessert. Eat it only after a balanced meal that includes protein and fat. Avoid eating large portions, especially in the afternoon or evening when insulin sensitivity is lowest. Never snack on watermelon alone if you are sedentary. The older you get, the more precision matters. Watermelon may have worked for you in your 30s, but in your 60s, 70s, or 80s, it could be sending the wrong signals to your body. Listen to how you feel after eating it. Energized or drained? Stable or dizzy? Your body will always tell you the truth. It is time to listen closely. Dried fruit, a sweet snack that drains your body. Dried fruit often wears a health halo. It is marketed as a natural, fiber-rich, antioxidant-packed alternative to candy or desserts. You see small boxes of raisins, apricots, and dates labeled no added sugar, gluten-free, or all natural, and it feels like the perfect guilt-free snack. But for seniors, dried fruit is not a healthy habit. It is a hidden danger. Here is why. When fruit is dried, it loses its most important ingredient, water. What remains is a small, dense, chewy bite of highly concentrated sugar. A single date contains more sugar than a cookie. A handful of raisins can deliver the same sugar load as a can of soda. And unlike whole fruit, dried fruit is easy to overeat. It is small, quick to chew, and rarely feels filling. This leads to unintentional sugar overload in one sitting. The problem is not just the sugar content. It is how your aging body responds to that sugar. After 60, the body's insulin sensitivity drops. The pancreas does not function as efficiently, and the muscles do not absorb sugar as quickly. So instead of being burned as energy, the sugar from dried fruit gets stored in the liver, belly, and bloodstream, leading to weight gain, insulin resistance, and chronic inflammation. Many seniors notice this without realizing the source. Heavier legs, tight calves, slower recovery after walking, fatigue that seems unrelated to effort, or a constant craving for snacks. These are not random signs of aging. They are often signs of blood sugar instability and dehydration caused by what you are eating. And here is the ironic twist. While dried fruit might seem like a quick way to boost energy, it actually drains your hydration. Why? Because dried fruits absorb water from your gut during digestion. Your already aging body, which naturally retains less water, ends up losing even more. The result? Bloating, constipation, tight joints, and muscle stiffness. To make matters worse, many commercial dried fruits are coated in vegetable oils or infused with extra sugars to improve taste and texture. Some contain preservatives like sulfur dioxide, which can irritate the lungs and digestive system in sensitive individuals. Even organic options often lack fiber and hydration, the two critical components your body needs to handle sugar safely. So, what is the solution? If you love dried fruits, treat them like a dessert, not a daily snack. Eat no more than 2 or 3 pieces, and only alongside protein or fat, such as a few almonds or Greek yogurt, to slow down sugar absorption. Better yet, swap them for fresh fruits like sliced apples, pears, or berries, which still offer sweetness but with built-in fiber, water, and volume that satisfy without harm. Dried fruits are not inherently evil, but they are mismatched for most seniors, especially if you are not physically active. Your legs, joints, and energy levels are trying to tell you the truth. Listen closely, and you may find that less healthy snacking leads to a lot more strength and clarity. Canned fruit in syrup, a sweet trap that weakens your legs. Canned fruit might look like a convenient, smart choice. It is labeled fruit, after all. You see peaches, pears, and pineapples soaking in golden syrup, neatly packed and shelf-stable. It is served in hospitals, nursing homes, and even recommended for seniors who need more fruit. But here is the truth no one is saying. Canned fruit in syrup is not healthy. It is a metabolic landmine. When fruit is canned in syrup, it is stripped of what makes fruit beneficial: fiber, hydration, and structure. What you are left with is soft, sugar-soaked flesh floating in high-fructose corn syrup or refined sugar water. Even the so-called light syrup still contains dangerous levels of sugar, often 20 to 30 grams per serving, more than a candy bar. But unlike candy, you eat it thinking it is good for you. That is the real danger. For seniors, especially those over 60, the consequences can be subtle but serious. This type of sugar doesn't just add calories, it infiltrates your blood vessels, causing inflammation of the endothelium, the fragile inner lining that controls how blood flows to your legs, brain, and heart. When the endothelium is damaged, circulation suffers. You might feel heavy legs after walking or standing, swollen ankles and feet, numbness or tingling in your toes, reduced balance or strength when climbing stairs. These are not just aging symptoms. They are signs that your blood flow is compromised, that your legs and brain are being starved of oxygen, and canned syrupy fruit could be a major culprit. What makes it worse is how it is eaten. Canned fruit is usually added after a meal, used as a quick breakfast, or eaten straight from the can as a dessert. But each time you do that, you are hitting your bloodstream with a sugar rush without fiber, without protein, without fat, nothing to slow it down. The sugar enters fast, spikes insulin, crashes your energy, and leaves you fatigued and foggy. The damage builds up slowly. Stiff joints, harder mornings, tighter calves, shakier legs. Your doctor may call it aging, but your circulation is quietly breaking down under daily doses of syrup. So, what should you do instead? First, eliminate all canned fruit in syrup completely. This is not a moderation food. It offers almost no nutritional value and does real harm. Instead, opt for fresh fruit with the skin on whenever possible, unsweetened frozen fruit as a convenient backup, fruit packed in water or its own juice, and even then, drain and rinse it. And always combine fruit with a source of fat or protein to stabilize your blood sugar, such as a few walnuts, plain yogurt, or chia seeds. Canned fruit in syrup is not nourishment. It is sugar in disguise, and the price is paid through your legs, your energy, and your freedom to move with confidence. Choose real food, not processed convenience. Your blood flow and your life depend on it.
Overripe mangoes, the tropical fruit that spikes more than just sugar. Mangoes are often considered one of the healthiest tropical fruits. They are rich in vitamins A and C, packed with antioxidants, and offer a juicy, delicious sweetness that feels both indulgent and nourishing. But for seniors, especially those over 60, there is one major catch. When mangoes are overripe, they become a metabolic threat, flooding the body with sugar and silently harming circulation, balance, and energy. As mangoes ripen, their sugar content increases while their fiber content decreases. The fruit becomes softer, sweeter, and easier to digest, but too easy. This means that instead of slowing down sugar absorption with fiber, your body receives a rapid hit of glucose and fructose. The result? A sharp blood sugar spike, followed by an insulin surge, and soon after, a crash in energy and mood. For younger, active bodies, this might not pose much of a problem. But for seniors, whose insulin sensitivity has declined and whose muscles no longer pull in sugar as efficiently, this sugar surge becomes dangerous. The excess glucose has nowhere to go but the liver and belly, where it is stored as visceral fat. This can lead to increased belly size, liver strain, and worsening of insulin resistance, even if the person is eating healthy. And the worst part? Many seniors eat overripe mangoes thinking they are doing something good for their bodies. Mango is often added to smoothies, blended with yogurt, or eaten as a dessert after meals. But without the presence of protein, fat, or fiber, these mango-based snacks amplify the sugar impact, draining your energy and increasing inflammation. What does that feel like? You may notice heaviness in the legs after meals, dizziness or lightheadedness in the afternoon, fatigue despite eating, increased cravings for sugar or snacks, tingling in the hands or feet. These symptoms are not random. They are signals of glycemic overload and poor circulation. When blood sugar rises too high and too fast, it affects microcirculation, the tiny blood vessels that feed your muscles, joints, and brain. Over time, this leads to slower healing, colder limbs, joint stiffness, and even confusion or mental fog. So what is the solution? It does not mean you must eliminate mangoes entirely, but it does mean you need to be intentional. If you enjoy mango, follow these tips. Choose firm, just right mangoes, not mushy, overripe ones. Eat mango only in small portions. Always pair with healthy fat or protein like avocado, Greek yogurt, or nuts. Never eat mangoes on an empty stomach. Avoid adding them to high-sugar smoothies or desserts. Even better, consider lower sugar fruit alternatives such as blueberries, raspberries, or sliced green apples. These fruits offer antioxidants, fiber, and sweetness without the insulin shock. Remember, not all fruit is friendly after 60. Some, like overripe mangoes, quietly steal your strength under the mask of health. If your energy is fading, your balance feels off, or your legs are heavier than usual, your fruit bowl might be the first place to look.
As we age, our bodies speak more clearly, but only if we are willing to listen. Not all fruits are created equal after 60. What once nourished us in youth may now drain our strength, disrupt our balance, or cloud our thinking. That does not mean giving up fruit. It means choosing wisely, not habitually. Favor fruits that support stable blood sugar and healthy circulation, berries, green apples, pears, or avocados, and always pair them with protein, healthy fats, or fiber. Avoid eating fruit alone, especially first thing in the morning or late at night. Treat high-sugar fruits like occasional treats, not daily staples. Your legs, heart, and brain deserve food that works with you, not against you. At Healthy Seniors Daily, we believe aging can be strong, clear, and vibrant, with the right choices one bite at a time. Listen to your body, nourish it gently, and never stop striving for better.